cooking. We're Eva and Maggie, mom and daughter, cooking for you guys straight from Athens, Greece. And on this channel, we make the Blue Zones diet tasty for you. And our today's recipe is gonna be a proper health bomb. Only 3 accessible and very simple ingredients needed and ready in half an hour. So let's begin. First of all, we're gonna need 1 cup of yellow split peas. And there's a good reason we prefer split peas over whole peas. And that's because splitting the pea results in a sweeter, less starchy, and earthier taste, and a softer texture. It means that we're gonna require less cooking time and our peas will be ready way faster. So here you go, guys, that's the first tip. When buying those peas, make sure you prefer split peas. You don't have to soak them overnight, but what you have to do is to rinse them very well under running water to remove that white residue. So let's go ahead, let's rinse those very carefully and let's just help ourselves a little bit with our hand, just like that. And there you go, guys, they will be clean just in a few seconds. Ready, so now we leave them to drain and we continue. What do we have here? We have half a red onion. We won't need any more than that. So let's just go ahead and dice it. And here you don't have to dice the onion very finely. No need to try too hard here, guys. It's gonna melt anyway inside our dish. Another thing we're gonna need is a few stalks of fresh parsley. Of course, this is already rinsed out as well, so we take it in such a way that we make tiny pieces, just like that, and this way it's gonna be easier for us to chop it, and we get rid of the hard parts, we just throw them away. So this one, we wanna chop it rather finely. So how cool is that, guys? We're gonna need just 2 basic ingredients besides the peas to enjoy this healthy meal today. On top of that, we're gonna also use 1 teaspoon of cumin. And cumin goes really well with peas, and not only with peas, but with all the other legumes. So now we're gonna heat up a deep frying pan and let's pour a few drops of olive oil inside first. And we do this on purpose. This is a test because this way we know that the pan is already warm, but not too hot. We don't want the pan to be very hot straight away from the beginning. So we're gonna actually use 5 tablespoons of olive oil here, and this is an ingredient we always use in our cooking. So let's go ahead and add the diced onion inside, and guys, we wanna find that sweet spot. The moment when the onion it's sauteed for the right amount of time, just enough to get that sweet caramelized onion taste we all love, and this is especially the case with the red onion. So it's gonna take about 2 minutes or so over high heat, and just make sure you're there and stirring constantly with a wooden spoon. And guys, you've probably noticed that the majority of our recipes here usually start with this step, which is sauteing the veggies. And this is very characteristic thing about the Mediterranean cuisine. It doesn't matter what you're gonna make, a soup, a stew, a one-pot dish. The first thing you want to do is to get that flavor out of those veggies, and this is the way to do it, by sauteing them. And another trick you can do here is to transfer those larger chunks towards the center of the pan to brown them faster, and just in a few seconds it's gonna be ready. And guys, this is what we're after. Do you see this? This is how it should look like, fairly browned. So we're ready here. And now it's time to add the peas, rinsed and drained, and make sure to do this carefully because it's going to be splashing all over the place. And once you're ready with the peas, we're going to add the water immediately so it doesn't burn, okay? So we're going to need 800 milliliters of water, which is 2 cups. And let's bring this to boil. And guys, if you see some foam being created on the surface, you simply ignore it, you don't care, and that's because it's a natural process. Our peas have been rinsed well, they're all nice and clean, so if you see a little bit of foam, it's totally natural and it's gonna go away on its own during the cooking process. And now let's go ahead and add the cumin here, okay, 1 teaspoon, and the freshly chopped parsley. We will not be adding the salt at this point yet. We add the salt only at the very end of the cooking process. That's because the peas are cooked quicker this way. Lovely, it started to boil, so it's time to switch the heat to low and cover that pan, and we're gonna cook it for 20 minutes. So here we are after 20 minutes, and this is how it looks like. Now it's the time to add the salt. So 1 teaspoon of salt, give it a nice stir, and now cover it again and leave it to simmer for another 10 minutes, guys. So after half an hour, they should look like this. They should have a little sauce on the bottom. They should be not completely overcooked, but they should be nice and soft and tender but whole. And now it's time for the best part, and the best part is our secret ingredient. We're gonna add this homemade sauerkraut. Check this out. This is one of the best sources of plant-based probiotics. It's extremely good for your gut's health, and just like ourselves here at home, you can make this from scratch at home and make your own 100% organic and natural sauerkraut. So if you have the time and the willingness to do that on your own at home, then of course we're going to share our recipe down in the description below. Otherwise, if you're short of time, you just go ahead and buy ready sauerkraut. And let's go ahead and add this to our dish, and it's totally up to you the amount you wish to add. We like the sour taste, so we're going to add this amount here. And the best part, let's go ahead and taste it. Amazing layering of flavors and textures. Those peas with that warm, earthy note and not overcooked. And that crispy, crunchy and fresh sauerkraut. Guys, this is a brilliant combination of flavors and so beneficial for you, all in one simple dish. And just like always in our kitchen, the final touch is sprinkling everything with a little bit of the gold of the South, olive oil, of course. If you enjoyed this recipe and if you enjoyed what we're doing here on this channel, then please guys, don't leave without leaving your comment and hitting that like button. This is the best way you can help this channel grow and develop and give you more of that content in the future. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future uploads, subscribe right now and hit that bell. This way you will get notified. And by the way guys, we upload typically twice per week, so you can expect one notification midweek and one during the weekend, and this is how you will get notified about all our future videos. All of those videos have been developed from scratch in our little kitchen here, and all of them are carefully planned to make a huge difference in terms of your health, well-being, immunity boosting, longevity, and every single recipe has been created to nourish your body, your soul, and show you how you can cook simple foods without any fancy stuff, just using those accessible, simple, everyday ingredients. This is what the Mediterranean Kitchenette is all about. All the best from